Welcome to the Comics News Wire, where we get our news from the comics newsroom found at comicbookadvocates.com. This show is anchored by Mr. Anderson, who is the unboxable, advocating creator known as the Indie Comics Devil, who will tempt you with his devilish tales of fetish, monsters, and more. Join him and his co-anchors as they give you the comics news coming off the wire. This show is brought to you in association with
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
ComicBookAdvocates.com is the global digital Comic-Con, but it's more than that, and you can be more too. Be more than just a fan. Become an advocate for comics like ComicBookAdvocates.com is for their creators, for their crowdfunding, for the very books they're creating, because we love comics. Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, my co-anchor Mike, or Moden as we call him, will be here momentarily. He'll be talking about the Kickstarter. It's Tuesday. It is debate night for the vice presidents, but we're not here to debate anything. We know. Keanu, what do we know? Tell us.
Comics are awesome.
And here we are, joined by Moden. What's going on, dude?
Nothing much, man. Sorry, I'm trying to get a good angle going on this. I'm using my phone here, which is nice because I have a phone that will actually run StreamYard now, which is good.
Are you going to be able to read the stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Let's get to it. We're here for the news. Why don't we start off by introducing you and letting the world know about what you're creating?
My name is Michael Oden. I'm the creator and writer of Elysian Fields. Currently, we have Elysian Fields, the Pyramid Gambit, live on Indiegogo. We are fully funded at 137%. We'd love to get even higher, so check us out.
And don't you do something special with the troops?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thanks, Rob. We are partnered with the Special Forces Charitable Trust on our platform for Indiegogo. And so we have a Support Our Troops tier. Every single tier with that Special Forces Charitable Trust logo has a minimum of $10 per purchase being donated to the Special Forces Charitable Trust. And if you get in on those first 30 days, your Support Our Troops package that you get from that, your pinup will be signed by Justin Hunt. Signed and numbered. So get on that here soon.
And we have a bit of a competition going on within our group at the Comic Book Advocates Network over on Facebook. For the record, you guys have to join the group to be part of this, where
yes,
it's real simple. I mean, if you have a friend in the group, it's automatic. Everyone gets in. We wanted it to a place where everyone can be. So far, it looks like Elysian Fields are in the lead. Pyramid Gambit. Moden is giving it to us. Trash Day from Hybrids is right behind it, as well as Oswald. You never know. We have a full just about 23 hours and 45 minutes. So plenty of time to see movement. I know Moden's going to make sure that he stays on top of it. But yeah, let's get into the rest of the news. We're not going to talk about any crowdfunding because nothing's ending today. The closest thing to ending is Johnny Phantasm, which ends on the 9th. So we have a couple days, so we're going to focus on today's news. Remember, go to the comic book newsroom at comicbookadvocates.com. It takes you right into our newsroom where you guys can see not only how to go to crowdfunding and all this stuff. See, when you click the link right here, it just takes you into the newsroom. And then once you're in the newsroom, you can see this week's videos, which will cover Sunday Funnies, Sunday Comics Brunch, yesterday's show, which for some reason was just a wild ride. We had a great interview with Michael Michael Monty Moore, and somehow we still landed it at a perfect hour. It was like one of those shows that, despite being a little off, it was really good. So we're pretty excited about that. Geek Insider has a bump, and this is Tuesday's show, and we're ready to rock and roll. So let's get to that. Later today, meet Peter Cimetti of Alternative Comics, brought to you by Geek Insider. All right, Mike, let's do this. You ready, Moden?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You plugged in? All right.
Yeah.
But of course, as always, we start with the indie news, because independent, next-gen, diverse, endless entertainment should go first. And here we go. News for me. I will be taking a vacation. I'm sure Moden might be reading about this for the first time. I'll be taking.
No, I saw the status go up last night.
Yeah, so I'll be taking a vacation, as I always do for Halloween. My co-anchors will get to run the news in my absence. I'm not planning to cancel any of the shows. We're going to try to get all the co-anchors to have some support. I might pop up and just help in a producer role, but it'll be up to them to pick the news stories. It'll be their show, and it'll kind of be cool to see what people do without me. This is just something I've always done. Well, since I've been working, for the last 15 years, I've always just taken the week off, and now that I have Jax, we spend the week going around to Halloween stores. We carve pumpkins. It's just about me and him, and it's about taking some time away and doing things for me, like creating comics. So I'm sure I'll be in the background somewhere or another, but you won't see me doing any videos except for You're Not Alone from the 23rd till the 9th. The reason normally I only go to the next week, but I'll be honest, I'm not going on during election week. I might actually. We might actually not.
Wise man.
We might not have any news the week of the election. I might tell all the co-anchors to take the week off. We're doing this because we want to avoid any divisive behaviors.
Yeah.
It's just about not getting in the way of people wanting to say what they want to say and not being ugly to each. We don't want to add to any of the fight. Let's put it that way. So we might do a backer pause that week, but even that I'm kind of on the fence about. But so you've been told. It doesn't come as a shock to you. No, I didn't run away. I didn't hide. I'm just taking a little time off. Everyone deserves some time off. And, Moden, this guy, Guano Guy.
Yeah, so Guano Guy is it looks like Guano Guy is running for president. Quite the ambition there.
He has a Kickstarter campaign, and Guano Guy, despite what Mark is telling him, is not listening to him. He just he's running for president now. He heard campaign. I heard he's coming up with slogans. This is not going to be good. I heard he's going to come up with ways to make comic books great again. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
This cannot end well, but if you like zany kind of Darkwing Duck, kind of Looney Tunes, throwback to even some of the greater earlier, like just funny type characters like the Tick, this is the Kickstarter for you. Yeah, no,
it looks great. I was actually one of the first backers. Rob and I think we're actually the first two.
Oh, you beat me?
No, you and I were like literally competing for it. Because we had him on the stream, and you're like, I'm gonna be the first one, and then I went in, and it was a whole thing of which one of our browsers loaded up the thing first.
I think he popped the cherry. I'm very disappointed. I wanted that cherry, but now I'm not sure with this campaign. It might be good you're number one over me, because what if he starts fighting dirty in the campaign?
I don't know.
You'll be on his posters. Moden supports Guano Guy.
Like, I'll take that endorsement. So long as Guano Guy, if he wins that campaign, man, like, if he wins, so long as he endorses Elysian Fields, I guess, POTUS Guano Guy would be one heck of an endorsement.
I've said this a couple times. Would he be worse? So you can vote in our group right here, by the way. If we put it in, not group, but in the Tuesday news section, you can actually vote for what you think the project to this week's project to crowdfund. That's what it is. So this is just Peter, because I want to make sure we covered it. Russ, talk about this.
Yeah. So we have Russ Leach is in the middle of his campaign for Only Death Can Save Us. I know that he got funded here. I think it was last week. it's such a fantastic looking book. It's this really nice throwback to like late Silver Age, early Bronze Age, Kirby-esque storytelling, and it's tremendous. If you haven't backed it, I don't. If you're watching this and haven't backed it yet, I don't know what you're doing. This is easily one of those ones.
Can you read what's on the screen?
Yep, it says, "Only Death Can Save Us" campaign has hit stretch goal number 2. Moving on up to stretch goal number 3. I would really love to see this set available for all backers. Only Death Can Save Us is on Indiegogo, and then hashtag Bronze Age inspired, hashtag COMiX, hashtag adventure.
All right, we're looking forward to seeing more from that. Then on October 16th, we're going to be able to see Nightfall hit Kickstarter. This is brought to us by Brian J. Lambert. He tells us that Nightfall cover reveal number 2, they ride together, they die together. Concept Moon Studios' Bad Boys for Life stand guard as the light is extinguished around them. In the face of the looming darkness, Prime and Sakura, maybe, show no fear. They fear no darkness. They were born to fight in it. Illustrated by M. Shadoun. This will be a 1 of 3 covers available for Nightfall Part 1, Dark Horizons, presented by Concept Moon Studios, Constant Hustle Comics, and Wingless Comics. Facing an enemy they never imagined, Prime and Sakura must join forces with a host of other heroes to stop the world from tumbling into oblivion. Join Avery, Justice, Prime, Sakura, and a host of others on October 16th. The doors are open. The doors of night are open, and Nightfall is coming. So that looks pretty cool. Rush just wound up getting repeated for some reason, but always good to see. And, this is something cool.
Which one is this? This is I don't recognize the art, but it's gorgeous. So we've got Robert Romero.
Ruben
Romero. I was about to say, it's like, wow, Robert Romero is making a comic. No, so we have Inferi, is that correct? No, yeah, Inferi number 1 and 2 launch on October 31st, right on Halloween. This looks like the perfect kind of project for that. Who's ready to bring down some monsters? Art is by Rodrigo Cataraka. Am I saying that?
Yeah, it sounds right. So you're good.
Written by myself and Casey Bowker.
You guys can look forward to that on Halloween Day. Oops. So that does look like awesome art. Me and Jack stood against bullying yesterday as we wore blue. And, of course, there's have to be the face mask. But we're very happy to do it. It's a month-long thing. So, obviously, very excited about it. I advocate for people all the time, stand up to bullies all the time. So does Modin with his service in the military. He stood up for America. So we thank you for your service.
Thanks, man.
And, Kat, we get this from Tony Kitrell. This is Regulators. Do you want me to read that? I know it's a little harder on the screen.
I got it. With only $1,100 to go and just 7 days left, pick up the Regulators number 2 today. If you like hashtag fantasy, action, magic, mythical creatures, and superheroes, you will love this book.
And it's definitely something that you guys should look into. The art's definitely appealing to the eye instantly. We also have Merry Monday, everybody. Well, obviously, this is from yesterday. It was just later in the day. Here's the latest page of my webcomic, and this is from the Steamroller Man. Remember, by noon, we've given you more comic book news than you're going to hear the rest of your day from us. So we start you off your day right, and this is the world of the Steamroller Man is expanding and introducing with the introduction, there we go, of a new subplot. Read my creator commentary on the website. Ooh, director's cut stuff is coming in. And we got something from Eddie Morgan.
That looks really cool. Bullets and bandanas. That looks awesome.
I don't know when it's coming, but we did ask for permission. It's returning from the Old West to the 1940s, Las Vegas, Jack Kirby's Lone Rider. So I'm assuming this is Jack Kirby had done a character, and this is now in the
this appears to be kind of Jack Kirby's version of the design. Kind of has traces of like the original Zorro, and then Lone Rider is definitely like a play off of Lone Ranger, but that looks fantastic.
And I'm really hoping. Well, it does say public domain comics, so I'm assuming public domain comics knows what they're doing. So this is going to be an interesting thing. Some more art from our friend, and we always have to open this one up. I don't know why this particular Aaron Humphreys. Always we have to open it. We're happy to do it though. My latest Gold Links comic book post on Webtoons completes issue 8 of my series. I need a small break to finish issue number 9, and then we will begin posting in Webtoons again. After issue number 9, I will have 3 issues to go to my finished comic book series. Will feel great to see it completed and available for everyone to read. So, the usual thing, Moden, where someone's making a webtoon and then they branch out and make it into a comic book. We wish them luck. Congratulations on getting through your 8th issue. We won't have them on the show for a couple weeks, but we look forward to their return. Do you know Vera Sam?
I don't.
Well, he's got some.
The name is familiar, but
he has a cool idea here. Go ahead and tell the world about it.
So it says, how important is a colorist on the YouTube thing? The craze in 10 or less episodes. How important is a colorist? Comic book colorist. How important is a colorist to an artist? I mean, I'd say that they're very integral to the process, especially in Western comics. But this looks like a great video. Very informative. And from an industry professional. So definitely worth a check out.
Definitely something that should be debated. Moving on to our next amazing story from same person, just about stretch cards. He has a campaign going. We are on the way, and I still need you. Make a pledge today and support our indie comics. Catch the Crazies. It's about a podcaster who asks for help in a forest and gets it, but everyone turns into crazy fanatics. Wow, just imagine life as a podcaster where you have fanatic fans. I appreciate all of you tuning in, but you don't have to become a fanatic fan. You just, JD.
You don't have to become. Yeah, of course I know JD Calderon. I actually was on with him here recently. So the Oswald Chronicles is back on Indiegogo with Fallen Gods, where we see Oswald battle crazed gods and evil sorcerers. I mean, I'm sold. JD's fantastic. He's good people.
Yep. Let's see. This is I was trying to see. I think this is done on the 10th. Let's see what day this is done. And he's got a short video, so I think we'll actually give him some love right now and play his video. His video is super short, so it only takes like 40 seconds.
Hello, everyone. This is JD Calderon, the writer and creator of the Oswald Chronicles, and I'm here today to tell you about my latest Indiegogo campaign. I'm offering you Fallen Gods, a 4-part limited series where we see with his newfound power. How will Oswald and his friends deal with this new threat? Find out in the Oswald Chronicles, Fallen Gods, issues 1 through 4. So please check out the various reward levels and pick out the one that best suits you. Thank you for your time. JD out.
There you go. JD is out. Thanks for sharing that with us today, JD. I hope it's going well. By the way, for those wondering, the other day they saw the name Catherine M. Anderson. For those who know, who've seen me on the road with my sister, that's actually Shorty. So that's actually her profile. She's been helping me out because Facebook's been weird about sharing stuff lately. So she's been sharing it over on her thing. She uses it basically to help me with the comics and when we go out and do stuff. So if you ever see that name, that's just Shorty. And some of you have met her on the road. More of you will in the future. So here we go. Dan Nux has something for you to talk about.
Let's see. Time for day 6 of Clucktober, the re-cluckening. Today's prompt is rodent. Our sponsor once again for today is Tortoise and Hare Creations and the amazing art of Indy Martin. You can go to this website to find out more. If you would like to pick up a copy of Chicken's books, go check it out at www.21sandshark.com/thebooks. Sounds fun.
Yeah, and he definitely makes Inktober a fun thing. Did you know that the Inktober creator actually sued people for using Inktober? I thought that
No,
was.
but that doesn't surprise me.
I was like, you asked everyone to do something. When they did it, you complained. One person not complaining is CB Zane. He's asking for some help. He is looking for a colorist that can handle a sci-fi look. Feel free to drop me a link and or a DM to work in your race. So this is going to be for something possibly Into the Suck, because he's using the cover. It might be something else. You don't know until you check it out. But CB Zane's a great creator. Of course, unfortunately, my fallen friend Keith Thomas, who died of stomach cancer, was the creator behind this book. So me and CB Zane have known each other for a while. So if you are a colorist and you're looking for a job, here it is, guys. You can get with it right now and be part of this amazing project and part of CB Zane's work. If you don't know who he is, he's killing it in the indie comics environment. So you want to work with someone like that. Do you know Ryan Cummings? Modin?
I've heard of Ryan. I don't think I've met him yet. But I mean, if the book's any indication to go off of, he's got a pretty fantastic premise on up there. So his post is, check out this cool new pinup by the incredibly talented Miguel Angel Ruiz with color art by Rumble Kings color artist DC Alonso. You can grab this pinup add-on for yourself digitally or physically now. And then he has that Kickstarter up there. What book is this for? That looks outstanding.
Rumble Kings. This is
That's for Rumble Kings?
Yeah.
Man, that looks so badass.
Yep.
And man.
This is for number 3. Then here you go. Rumble Kings has raised, number 3 has raised $1,634 on our $3,000 goal so far, but we still have ways to go. I'd love to hit 200 backers with this campaign. Growing the fan base is the most important thing to me at this point, and I could use all the help. We are all friends who love comic books, video games, and movies. Chances are, if you like Rumble Kings, then your friends will too. Please share this campaign with them, and let's take over the world. I've got some cool stretch goals in mind, so let's smash the fun and go. Lastly, check out the cool new pinup that's incredibly talented Miguel Angel Ruiz with color art by Rumble Kings color artist DC Alonso. You can grab this pinup add-on for yourself digitally or physically now. So that's pretty badass. There you go.
Yeah, that 100%.
And Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics, talks to us about failure and talks to us about the big L, the losses in our creative lives. I have talked about this too, and I love seeing his energy and him explaining the journey he's been on. You know, we look at people and we see their success, and when we see their success, we talk about it, but we don't realize how much failure is there. And a lot of people don't openly talk about that failure. They try to hide it. Sweep it under the rug. Make sure no one knows about it. Not Victor Dandridge. He stood up and talked about it today. It's definitely a video that you guys should watch.
100%.
You're up, Mike.
All right, and so this is Catch DA. Is it just Da?
No, it's Catch the Craze. The Craze. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Catch the Craze tonight when I speak with Sam Vera at Vera Sam for a special Get in Tune at 8:30 p.m. here on Get in Tune and on Michael Gracia on YouTube. Sam and his Catch the Craze podcast partner Jorge Medina have a Kickstarter for their upcoming comic Catch the Crazies. Join me as I talk to Sam about comics, the show, and the Kickstarter. Don't miss out on the fun. For updates, please like our Facebook, please subscribe to us on YouTube, and donate to the Kickstarter. I mean, sounds like a good time. I don't know why anyone would want to miss it.
And they're trying. You see the different promotion angles they're taking on. I got to give them credit. We covered it 3 times today because they give us 3 different ways to actually cover them. That's
Smart.
That's a good thing, yeah. And smart is getting kids comics for kids and getting them to read through comic books. And that's what Scoot is going to be doing starting in 2021. It is the imprint from Scout Comics that focuses on younger readers who will specialize in content for ages 4 to 12 with the expectation that our quality stories will be enjoyed by readers of all ages. Scoot officially launches the initial lineup in January 2021. However, through social media and Ashcan Editions, reader will learn even more about it and sample our exciting stories. Like and follow our Facebook page for the latest Scoot news and your chance to win prizes and giveaways. And then here you go. This is an important message for the world to hear.
Tell me and the world of your creative news below, and it will be featured on CNW.
That's right. Every week we do this. We give it to you. So we're going to go over to that post, and this is your way to get transported directly onto the show. You guys are lazy if we're not talking about you. That's just what it is. I'm sorry, but it's true. Because we have JD who says JD Chronicles is back on Indiegogo with the Fallen Angels, where we see Oswald battle crazed gods and evil sorcerers. And we have something for Aaron has music on Spotify. Randall Rosita says, I've already completed a Kickstarter campaign and now I have books for direct for sale. What if you found your own dead body in a horrific crime scene? Now imagine you have the ability to visit your last moments in life. That's Whitaker Knox. Preview issue 1 and buy your copy for $5 at Nerd 2 3rd. And then Tokyo Blade Detectives, the end of Volume 1 stories arriving on Kickstarter November 7th. Anthony Hunter tells us, not sure if this is creative news you're looking for, but I've been working with the local art center to offer cosplayer figure drawing event to connect cosplayers and artists in a new way. True
Awesome.
of Horror comic book series gives us the TMH comics. Oops. There we go. Teddy Long gives us, Teddy Lottie, you gave me nothing to talk about. Right, Amon? What can you say about that?
I can't.
Teddy,
I can call out a URL, but
Teddy, you failed this post. You failed this post.
You failed this city. What?
Gary said working hard on Pyramid Night of Book 6, trying to get that done. Also related limited series, the Last Pyramid War. Go to the website going. Got the website going. It's looking pretty good. The Pyramid Nights. Thank you for all you do, Rob Anderson. You're welcome. Thank you for creating what you do, Gary. You make some great books. Mary Dewey says my graphic novel is getting some great internet reviews. Here are some of the most recent. And Alex Dawes says our first Indigo campaign, Zener, Master of the Mind, is coming soon. So you see, we got all that in. We got to talk about all those creators, and every one of you who shows up to this show later and goes, well, how come no one covered my news? Because you're not making waves. You're not getting out there. You're not trying to connect. You're not trying to make it. Join Comic Book Advocates Network on Facebook today. There's like a 95% chance. We barely don't cover things that are in there. So I'm trying to help you guys. It's like horse, here's water. Water.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things that I'm gonna be starting to put some stuff up there for Pyramid Gambit, because we have a whole bunch of announcements coming here this week, and so you'll be sure to see those up on your page because you're one of the big promoters out there right now. Why you have it
promoters get paid, advocates do it for passion.
fair enough. You're one of the top advocates out there, and you're literally making it as easy as possible to do this. So why not take advantage?
This is comic book promotion for dummies. I'm trying here. Every time I look at it, I try to make it easier. It's where it is now. And here we go. Mainstream market. It's brought to us by Indie Vault. Recharge your fandom. Subscribe to IndieVault.com. Download the Roku device app, and they're available on Google Play for your Android devices.
Woo.
Here we go. You Legends of Tomorrow fan, Moden?
Not really.
This news you won't really care about it.
Legends of Tomorrow makes Gary actor Adam Sekman, I hope I've pronounced that right, series regular for season 6. What character did he play?
He's basically like a time bureau grunt, but now there's no longer a time bureau. So then he spent last season as the apprentice to Constantine. But if everything is going as it should, Constantine might be getting his own spinoff. So yeah. Gary's stuck on the Wave Rider with everyone else. Of course, we saw the departure of Brendan. What's his name? Yes, thank you.
Brendan Ruth.
He was kicked off the series.
It's very interesting because it seems like that, but there's also a lot of talk that his Superman is getting his Superman was so well received that there is a lot of things pointing that he's going to be getting his own HBO Max series on that as DC starts to pivot away from CW and more towards HBO Max.
And that's an interesting point. We have a couple minutes. Do you think that's the future goal?
Yes, 100%. They literally have stated that they're going to be canceled. There are 3 other CW shows that are on the chopping block, and there are confirmed 5 HBO Max series in production that have not been named yet, and they're theorized to be Constantine, Zatanna, a Brendan Ruth Superman spinoff, and maybe Ben Affleck's Batman as a spinoff series as well. So HBO Max is very much the future of DC TV.
And I do stress this is all rumors. This is nothing that we can 100% confirm, but we do know that HBO Max has 5 untitled series related to DC that have been slated and they haven't announced yet. So HBO Max is very much where they're leaning, and this is due to the success of the original series that were higher budget on things like DC Universe. So that's the idea, is so long as these things continue to be profitable, big budget series for these properties on platforms like HBO Max seems to be the direction that DC is going in. Well, I mean, it's definitely an interesting time to be a comic book fan. And some bad news here. Black Adam, Warner Brother removes Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, of course, movie from the schedule. This sounds like really bad news. I would take it with a grain of salt. I don't think it has anything to do with the project itself. I think this is because it's been 2020. We're going to see a lot more news, even in this program, about how things have been changed. With that in mind, understand how busy Dwayne the Rock Johnson really is. So if they move this schedule, they might have to look at his schedule to figure out where they can start planning to reschedule. Dwayne is constantly working. If he's not on an NBC show, he's making 15 movies. He releases more movies than any other actor or actress out there yearly, and we're talking more.
Plus, he's returning to the WWE, from what I understand.
There's a rumor, and I'm hoping it's true, and that has to do with the fact that Roman Reigns has been talking like he's the big dog of the family, and The Rock is related to Roman Reigns. So I'm hoping it's true. We will see, and we, of course, hope that The Rock and his family have overcome COVID at this point. Of course, it was released earlier this actually, it was just 2 weeks ago now, so they should just be at the end of it right now.
Yeah.
End of September. At the end of September, we found out him and his family had unfortunately gotten sick. So we hope they're okay. We're pulling for them. We hope that we see on the other side. Are you a Star Trek fan, Moden?
Not really. I don't have anything against it. It was just not something I got into growing up. I was definitely
I'll take this one because you won't understand it as much. Star Trek, Jonathan Frakes, who played Riker, volunteers to direct the next Star Trek movie. That could be really good because he has a big passion for it. He's just directed a Discovery episode, and he actually brought back his character recently in the Discovery, the Picard series. So he's very active in the community. So I think this could be a good thing. You always want to see the people who love the property to be in charge of the property.
100%.
I got some bad news. I know Moden's going to have something to say about this. There it is. Bad news.
Yeah, I think that everyone saw this coming, especially since Robert Pattinson got COVID, literally right as they started to film again. And so he wasn't able to do shoots for, almost a month. And postponing a month of filming is going to have consequences. Yes, it sucks. Am I surprised? Not at all. 2020 is what 2020 is. Do I think that this means that any of these are being scrapped? No. I just think that we have to take in consideration that production schedules, and hell, they might even just be doing this because there's such an uncertainty of when theaters are going to be able to be open in full swing again.
We just learned yesterday that Regal is shutting its doors after the James Bond movie this year, and no one's even sure they'll ever open their doors again. Not just Batman, though. The Flash, Shazam 2. Yeah. But I know that stings. I know that you're all like, well, what's 2021 going to have for us? Got some good news for you. All right. Out of nowhere, the Matrix 4 date has been moved up. It will be in December of next year, 1 year from now, well, a year and a few months from now. We'll be able to see The Matrix 4, followed by The Matrix 5 in summer of 2022. And I don't know if you guys knew this, they continued to film during the pandemic in New York. I don't think even shut down production too much because a lot of their stuff is done on green screens and stuff, but they were filming in the middle of the pandemic. They've handled it. They've taken care of business, and they're going to get us a movie out. So I was pretty excited about that. I want to see what the next phase for the Matrix has in store for us. Bowden doesn't seem impressed.
I was never a huge Matrix fan to begin with. Like I understood the appeal to them. It wasn't my cup of tea. And then it's like, of all the things to announce a sequel for, The Matrix had wrapped up everything fairly well. So I was just like,
oh, I don't think so. As a Matrix fan, they need to come back. I actually think they really screwed the landing, and they needed to make another movie. But Mr. Anderson, do you know how much I hear Mr.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. But like, it's one of those things where, like, of all the things that I would have loved to see come back, it was just like The Matrix was not even at the.
I would like to thank Moden for his time as the co-anchor. He announced that we're looking for a new co-anchor for Tuesdays now.
Anyway, let's go to this beautiful Jorge Jimenez cover of Batman. That's just gorgeous.
Now, first off, I want to say I like Catwoman's new outfit. The fact that they gave her armpit room, that really is a more accurate, probably, costume to fight in.
Yeah,
but go ahead, continue.
No, I just this cover is so awesome.
All right.
But I do see that there's with a bang and a whimper, so I'm assuming that there was some really good stuff, but at the end it was a bit anticlimactic. I haven't read yet. But I'm so behind on Tinian's Batman run. I'll find it's fine. So if we want to pull up the article and do the spoilers, we're more than willing.
We're not doing spoilers today. We got a lot more news to cover.
Okay, no worries then.
There was a big moment with this. Notice the age.
Yeah. It's 13 and up, which I think is good.
Yes, 13. They have DC has started to implement, and they had mentioned this during DC fandom, where they're going to make it easier for parents to understand the ages that kids should be reading these comics. I think this is a step in the right direction. I think that I'm not for comics code, but self-policing yourself and understanding what you should be allowing children to read, I think that this is a great step forward. And I like the cover. I think it's cool. This was supposed to end at 100, so I don't know what they're going to do anymore. This was originally King's run, right? He was supposed to go to 100.
Yeah, I think Tinian was given an extension because people, to put it mildly, people were not really pleased with King, especially by the end of his run. But Tinian's brought a lot of energy back to the book and a lot of enthusiasm back to Batman fans. Between this and 3 Jokers, Batman is probably their top selling property right now. I thought that I had read something a while ago about Tinian getting an extension past 100, but I could be wrong. So I'm not going to push that either here or there, but yes, this is technically supposed to be where it ended because it's Tom King's run was a 100 issue run.
We'll see what happens next month. Meredith says, I believe recommendations for age-appropriate content is a good idea. Then let parents decide. And yes, exactly, Meredith. This is not comics code. Everyone gets nervous about this. I don't mind that. I don't mind slapping what I think an age group should be. There should be a standard, I think, that we should follow, and it should go along the standard that everyone else follows. We have standards for video games. We have standards for that. For movies, for TV, it's not hard to put a standard on this and be honest about that standard. We have other industries that use standards. Why can't comics? This is not comics a code authority. This is just helping parents and showing parents you actually care, that they feel comfortable with the content that their children are reading. This is a parent. This is not a censorship moment.
Yeah, 100%. I think that the big difference here is that establishing what your target demographic is fine. The biggest difference is, of course, that the Comics Code Authority was effectively censorship and was preventing creators from doing what they'd like. This isn't that at all. This is making sure that parents are informed what they can expect from the content that's presented in the book, and I think that that's a good thing.
Absolutely. And listen, Liv Tyler, I've got a crush on her. I saw an interview. I wanted to share it with you guys. Liv Tyler, she's just got a great energy about her. I really like her as a wrestler, and she's just absolutely gorgeous. She's a good wrestler, too. So, and the reason we cover wrestling news again is because we run into these wrestlers on the road. When you go to Comic-Cons, we talk to these wrestlers. I can't tell you how many wrestlers I've hung out with now in my lifetime. Also, a lot thanks to John Crawford, who's the wrestling historian, wrestling comic book historian. Bowden's like, I don't do wrestling.
I do, actually. I'm not as big into it as you are, but like a few years ago, one of my best friends got me really into it, especially got me looking at like the old matches from like the 90s and 2000s, got into CM Punk a good deal. So yeah, no, like I'm not huge into wrestling, but I enjoy it. I have fun with it.
Absolutely. A great interview from this. Actually, if you're a fan of Liv Morgan, this is going to be an interview for you. And, you know, wrestling is just a fun way. You have to, it's one of those things where you have to suspend. It amazes me that people are like, I can't believe you waste your time on that. I'm like, dude, do you watch TV? Do you? I mean,
it's literally just, it's a drama.
Yeah.
With, like, that's all it is. It's
watch football? That's drama now. With all the rules, it's more drama than it is. I still watch it. I like football, but I mean, it's a lot of drama in there. And I'm not talking about off the field stuff. I'm talking with the refs and the flags nowadays. Guys, sneezes and it's like, oh, you're intimidating him. Marvel Hawkeye series. Check this out, Moden.
Yeah. So Marvel's Hawkeye TV series villain rumored to be revealed. I haven't seen this article yet, but I mean, I'm hoping that it's someone good. I think Hawkeye is a character that has been criminally underutilized in the MCU so far, and I would love to see Jeremy Renner actually get a chance to play this character, who's really, really a fun read if you've ever read any of his solo titles.
I hate Hawkeye. I'll be honest. I love him. I like Hawkeye for one reason, and that was what he did with Wolverine in Old Man Logan. But Jeremy Renner did make me like the character. I
think that the first bit, like I had read some stuff of him from before and I enjoyed it, but I think my favorite Hawkeye run will forever be the Matt Fraction one, which if you haven't read, I highly recommend. It's very good. It's fun, and it does a good job of amplifying how awesome it is that this guy's hanging in there with the other Avengers, but also plays up the whole, well, he's just a normal person. And it's a good time.
Meredith says
Hawkeye is yummy.
Meredith to HR. Meredith to HR.
Yes.
And here we go. Here's the preview for everything coming out. We have a few minutes. What do you think we actually take a look?
Yeah, let's take a look.
This is everything from CBR, by the way. We've done a horrible job today talking about where these things are from. Make sure you check out the articles. These guys do a great job in everything they do. The Joker War is about to end, so that's about to come to an end. So here's what's coming out, and this is brought to you by, again, comic book resources, CBR.com. So American Vampire 1976, #1. Batman 100, we just saw that. So this isn't even out yet. This is on your pull list for today, by the way.
Yeah.
Dead Planet, Bar Sector, Justice League 54, Legend of the Swamp Thing Halloween Spectacular, Dreaming Waking Hours, and Young Justice 19. Now, I do want to just talk about for just a quick second. Look at how few titles are coming out. This is probably a good business plan for that.
I think that's honestly what the entire main line needs to do. Everyone needs to be reducing their titles to the ones that are doing the best and the ones that people seem to be enjoying, and really focus on getting quality over quantity.
Yeah, and I think this is an awesome time to really reevaluate comic book lines and see what does work and doesn't work. So kudos and thank you for CBR for bringing us our list for today. We're going to head back over here to tomorrow's news, which is, we're not going to look at this if we have time tomorrow. We don't have time tomorrow, but this is Marvel and this is Diamond. This is everything from Marvel has too many things. They'll have variant cover after variant cover. I don't have time to read off all the variant covers, but if you're interested in what should be on your pull sheet for tomorrow, here you go. This is previews arriving tomorrow, October 7th. And this is big news. Did you hear about this, Moden?
I did not. Aftershock Media, a merger with a TV film company. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Good on them.
Yep. And,
I mean, like, go ahead, Rob.
No, I was just going to say it's an amazing time to see comics teaming up with other entities. I don't know what this means for its comic book line. Obviously, they're not going to give up on comic books, but this is their merging with this. So I don't know if they're going to take a lot of their own titles, if they're going to start producing other people's titles. This is going to we're going to have to wait for the dust to settle on this to see if they start going outside of their own house to bring in some new content. But this is exciting news. We always want to see this. We want to congratulate them. They've been around 5 years, busting their butts, and I'm proud of them. I know the people behind Aftershock. I know a few people in there. They do a great job. Always professional when you go to shows. Congratulations to Aftershock on this merger.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we have McKinley teacher gives his students a hero to believe in with comic book creations. El Peso Hero, I think I'm saying that right, depicts the life on the border. Pretty cool. A teacher in a school system is making something about living on the border, and I thought that was a pretty cool thing. And I love the fact that WFFA, a news program, picked up this story. I like seeing that. Like Games Radar is talking about Aftershock, but Aftershock's news went all the way to even other news things. Comics are starting to become mainstream, and I think this has a lot to do with 2020. I think we kept creating. I don't think Marvel might have put their pencils down, but give DC credit, they never did. Now look at the moves that these comic book companies are making. They're leapfrogging. They're setting themselves up to be in a powerful position in 2021. What do you think about that?
I think that, and I said this before, not on here. I can't remember where, but people craved escapism during everything that was going on this year. And where a lot of the mainstream companies went pencils down and couldn't put out new content, the indie community persevered and took a risk. And it's paying off because people are starting to realize that indie is a legitimate thing. And so I do think that, you have these companies, these smaller companies that are starting to come up on the rise and get noticed a lot more. And you have these creators that are getting noticed a lot more when they hadn't been in the past, because this during everything that went on, these creators rose to the challenge, and people are thankful, I think, right, frankly, that they got this escape, that they got this escapism from from these other titles.
And, I give Marvel a lot of grief. I'm going to give them a lot of credit here. Marvel talks about its next generation of creators with Stormbreakers. So I like this. The fact that they're introducing the next generation of elite artists. I have a couple friends on this list, as a matter of fact. You have Patrick Gleason, Josh Cassara, Carmen Caranora, Juan Cabal, RB Silva, IBN Stilalo, Peach Monaco, and Natasha Butos. No, not Natasha. Natisha.
No, I think that's pronounced correctly. I think it's pronounced as Natasha.
Oh, Natasha. Okay. Butos.
Yeah,
love this.
Yeah.
Love the energy. Love the fact that Marvel's bowing to the new creators and saying this is a new time. This makes me excited about what Marvel's future looks like. What about you, Moten?
I mean, they sold me with Patrick Gleason. Patrick Gleason and Jorge Jimenez did a phenomenal job working on Peter Tomasi's Superman book during Rebirth. That's all that needs to be said for me to be even remotely excited. I mean, you've got these creators that are definitely up and coming, but have definitely earned their spot to be on a list like this. And so, yeah, that's fantastic. And I think that fresh new ideas, fresh new design, fresh new everything is what a lot of the industry needs right now. To grow and continue growing is because we keep recycling the old stuff. Like, I mean, how many times are we going to have a Crisis from DC, or how many times are we going to have a Civil War from Marvel?
Well, you weren't on the show, but Jim Lee had said that they're done with that. Under his thing, they will no longer have one every year. He said they might pop up, but he wants to take more of the ideas and slowly have them build. He wants to go back to when a crisis really meant something, because it only happened every so often.
And that was something that he said during DC Fandom, and I genuinely hope that they really invest in that, because I know that the big events were what people were counting on to bring in the money, but it's no longer a big event if they happen every other Thursday.
But Marvel, where's your big event? Where's been your Marvel fandom? Marvel, we're waiting for you. Step up to the plate. Tell us, excite us. Let us know about the future, because Marvel used to be the groundbreaking one, and now DC's over there breaking some ground. So let's hope these Stormbreakers, including RB Sylvia, do great stuff. Great creators. You got tons of them. Josh, Cameron, Juan, Natasha, RB, Patrick, IBN, and Peach. Congratulations. This is covered by Marvel.com. Super awesome. We're always happy to see that. If you guys are, if you're a Vanessa Hutchinson's fan, she poses in a Catwoman suit. You're welcome. This was just for you fans. This was a moment where I gave you guys something. It's the Catwoman from Batman, 1980. What was it, 89? They call it now. The original Burton.
So the Catwoman suit that you're talking about, I think, is from the 1994 Batman Returns.
No, but it's from the Burton.
It's the Burton verse is
Batman
starts with
89,
Batman
right?
1989, and then I think the next film was 1994.
No,
Batman
they're referring to it now as the Batman 89 line, because that came from Crisis.
Oh, okay. Then fine. Yeah.
If you're doing multiverses, then that's Earth 89, because it goes to that. I think that's kind of cool that they started doing that, and I look forward to the multiverse, actually. And last bit of news today. Go ahead and read it off.
The Witcher Season 2 officially reveals series' new costume, and they revealed Henry Cavill's one too. And they look great.
Are you a fan? I'll be honest, I haven't watched it. I'm trying to decide if I need to watch it.
The Witcher is very well done. The only problem is I do not feel it is accessible to anybody that has not played either the video games or read the books. If you go in there with nothing, it's going to be a bit confusing. You need somebody that actually knows the property to be like, okay, this is what you need to pay attention to. Because I almost missed it. I don't think season 1's particularly accessible, but a lot of those problems should be solved in season 2, as all the timelines from the first season have converged by its finale.
Well,
so,
we got a couple minutes. What do you say we play a video?
I say we go on ahead. Oh my goodness! I wonder what this one is.
When we left off in the Zero issue, Achilles had made his way from peace in the afterlife to an arena, where he was left to fight alongside King Theseus against the first heroes Gilgamesh and Enkidu. Achilles had begun this fight against the arrogant Gilgamesh at the end of the Zero issue, and that's where we pick up in Elysian Fields, the Pyramid Gambit. In almost 60 pages of story, we see the new Team Hades form and begin their first round at the Abyssal Tournament of Champions together. Heracles, conqueror of the 12 labors, Theseus, slayer of the Minotaur, and Achilles, the hero of the Trojan War, must now face an opponent that has never been defeated before in this arena, the Champion of Osiris, Imhotep. With the success of our first campaign, we were able to expand on this book in pretty much every way. We have doubled the size of the story, we brought in talents like Kevin Sharp and Alonzo Espinosa from the Dragon Guard, Scott Rosema, and many more for various different covers and pinup. We are also extremely excited to announce our partnership with the Special Forces Charitable Trust, for whom we are raising funds by our Support Our Troops package. Not only will this package include an Indiegogo exclusive edition of the book with a cover by Ted Lehman and Ferran Normaliza, but it will include a pinup by the very talented Justin Hunt, a UNIP patch, and a challenge book. $10 from every purchase of this tier will be donated to the Special Forces Charitable Trust. It not only helps the veterans of this very elite community and their military, but their families as well.
All right, that looks fantastic. We have time for one other video on our way out, but why don't you tell them about it and tell them where they can follow you?
As it says in there, we're picking up from the Zero issue. You can find us on Indiegogo. We're live currently. We're partnered with the Special Forces Charitable Trust. And then one big announcement that we made over the weekend was that the first 50 backers of the Dragon Guard cover, between the whole enchilada tier and the Dragon Guard tier itself, will have their copies of the book signed by not only myself as a part of the funding stretch goal, but Kevin Sharp, the artist who drew the cover himself. So you can find us on Indiegogo, find me at Twitter at ElysianFields_0, and you can find me on Facebook at Nine Realms Publishing.
And when does this campaign end?
So the first 30 days ends here in 17 days on the 22nd of October, but then we will likely extend for another 30 past that. But you want to get in on those 30 days, especially if you're looking at doing that Support Our Troops tier, as your pinup by Justin Hunt will be sent to him to sign and number if you get in on the first 30-day window as well.
All right. Well, I appreciate you all being here. Join us tomorrow at 11 for Backer Pause. We're still looking for actually a judge. If you want to be a judge, reach out to me in our COMiX newsroom. Send me an email. We're going to reach out to some of the creators today, see who wants to play a judge. Maybe I can get Victor Dandridge to be a judge on a Backer Pause this week. We don't know. You have to tune in tomorrow to see. I'm going to go ask him, and we'll see. I know he's the busiest man in comics, so, hardest working man in comics, I should say. Not busiest, but probably busiest too. That's it, guys. Thank you for being part of the program today. Moden, as always, great job. Soon it's going to be your show for 2 weeks, it seems.
Dude, that has me so nervous. You have no idea, but I think we'll manage.
Take notes. The challenge is, can the news be better without the devil and the advocate? It's gonna be a challenge, but we have a video to watch on our way out. Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow at 11.
Several major religions across the globe recount a similar story about angels, or sons of God, who take mortal brides. These unholy unions produce the creature known as Nephilim. Stories of the Nephilim predate the first writings of the Greek gods by nearly 15